This month on Studio 512 Salutes, Sonex Therapy is teaming up with us to honor David Dean, who is retired from the U.S. Army. So we are here today with CEO Sean Vieira of Sonex Therapy and David Dean of Upbring. Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
First of all, have to say it right out the gate, thank you both for your service to this country. And let's talk a little bit about that, because we're heading into Veterans Day, and this is really something that we want to promote as our local veterans. David, let's talk a little bit about what you did in the U.S. Army.
Yeah, so for the first part of my career, I was a forward observer. So in layman's terms, I would go out and find the enemy, and then I would call back to the aircraft, the helicopters, the jets, and artillery pieces, and tell them where to shoot their rounds.
Wow.
For the latter part of my career, though, I had the distinguished pleasure of serving as a command team in both the 82nd Airborne Division and the 1st Infantry Division.
My goodness. Well, you make it sound, and this is what we hear from so many veterans, you make it sound very easy what you did, but that is such a stressful job, and my goodness, I can't imagine how many lives you saved in the process. Let's talk about your reaction when you came home and kind of the welcome that you received. How did you feel about all that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, the communities in which welcomed us home were tremendous. From arriving in Maine, which is a common spot, to the people giving you hugs, to whatever post that I was at, or even in Germany, the people were always there with welcome arms and making you feel so proud and part of a bigger team. It was very humbling and very appreciative.
Yeah, and I think that that isn't always the reaction that has happened when our service members come back, for example, the Vietnam War. So I'm so glad to hear that people were willing to welcome you back with open arms and say thank you for what you've done. This is a question for the both of you. Let's talk about how we transition. Military service and civilian life are such opposite things. How did you both find the transition? How do you balance it now?
Yeah, so I won't lie, it was tough. After doing something for 20 years and you're completely committed to it, and then you find yourself transitioning, it's the support of your family, the community, and the Army has so many resources that they've put in place that really provide opportunities for you to figure out what you want to do, and then to just apply that same fundamental and get after it. So.
Well, that's good to hear, because I think if you wanted to change, or if you wanted, you know, it's just a total compartmentalization of your brain when you're working in the military, and then so you get into civilian life, I think would be pretty difficult. Sean, how did you find it?
So my transition wasn't quite as drastic as David's. I left active duty about after 5 years. But I continue to serve in the reserve component, and continue to actually right now in the Texas Army National Guard. So I sort of eased out of active duty into the reserves and into the civilian side. But I found a lot of the skills and a lot of what I learned in the military were very applicable to the business world, and they definitely appreciated me bringing those skills over with me. But there was definitely a difference. You had to use a little bit different tact while working on the civilian side. Maybe not be quite as direct. So in that regard, it was a little bit of a change. Some
of those softer skills, maybe something that you're continuing.
I had to read How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. Well, that's good. That's good education right there. Let's talk a little bit about Upbring now, the project that you're working on.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm blessed to be part of a Texas-based, faith-inspired nonprofit organization called Upbring. From my role from the Corporate People Operations Department, I help coach, advise, performance management. But honestly, I'm supporting those who are working with the youth throughout Texas, and I'm absolutely blessed to be part of the organization.
That is really cool. How did you find something like that? You know, how'd you get into it?
Yeah, honestly, I was looking to be part of, just like in the military, something bigger than me. And that's kind of been what makes me feel at home. And when I found out the mission, to break the cycle of child abuse, I was like, I need to be part of that. I need to help support these folks. And that really drew me to apply for the position, and I was blessed to get it. So
I think it's wonderful that you're able to give back. And Sean, let's talk real quickly about why you specifically wanted to honor David.
Yeah, so, you know, David's kind of laid it out here. He spent 20 years serving this country, and even after that he continues to serve others, in this case children. So, you know, people who dedicate their life to service of others are pretty special. So that's why I wanted to highlight David.
And may I say, it's important to highlight you as well, somebody who's willing to lift somebody else up, and I think that's a really wonderful thing. So gentlemen, again, thank you both for your service. I hope that you have a happy Veterans Day, okay?
Thank you.
Sonex has next generation shockwave therapy to help with a range of ailments. So for more information, go to sonextherapy.com or you can call the number on your screen. It's 512-646-1500.